So, hey, I am back here with a January wrap up of what I read in January. I read 5 books this month, which is really good going for me. Apart from one of them was borrowed from the library, so I had to send that back. But I have managed to get a picture of the cover of it. So I think so. This is the pile of the four, and then the fifth is on the what do they call it? Amazon Fire or something like that. So we'll start off with this one. So the first one I read was book 2 in the House of Night series, which was Betrayed by PC Cast and Christine Cast or Christine Cast. I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced that right. So the second book was quite interesting. Her best friend actually died in this book and came back as a monster. So that was really interesting. And her guardian or her, because I call them fledglings, so she kind of has like a tutor thing, which I can't pronounce the name for the life of me because it's so complicated. But yeah, that was really an interesting read and it kept me hooked. So I will be continuing with book 3 and the cover's really pretty. So yeah, I think the main drama was that the best friend lost her life kind of thing. So that was a big thing. And then in the next book we have Believe Me by Tahara Mafi. I hope I pronounced that right. But the cover is super pretty, super adorable, and they finally got married. Warren and Juliet. I just had to remember the character's name, but they finally got married in this short story, so it was really nice to have this book to kind of wrap up on the things that weren't in the last series of Imagine Me, I think. Um, so yeah, so that was really nice. It was a really short read, so there wasn't really, apart from the wedding as a whole, there wasn't really a lot of drama. It was mainly of them just finally tying the knot and saying I do. So that was an absolute beautiful read. I've read the other books, but I haven't got copies of them. But I don't know whether I want to keep this copy just because the cover and the eye is super pretty. It's super adorable. The next book is called Nil Unlocked by, I think it's Lenny Matson, it's pronounced. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong again too. But this one was mainly about how they were stuck on an island and how they had to find a way to all get off of it. And they do all get off of it. So yeah, so they kind of have to survive and hunt for food, but it's a very dangerous place because they have to catch gates and one thing another. And for each gate, you can kind of have animals and stuff brought through. So it was nice to finally have them off the island and stuff. But there is a third book called Nil on Fire. So I'm kind of hesitant just to start that just because we had the romance in the first one and then this one we have the romance again, but they finally, apart from a few other ones, they don't get off, but the majority of them do escape and go back to normal life. So this was a really interesting read. I don't think I'll keep it just because I don't honestly see myself reading it again. It took me 6 months to read the first 100 and something pages, and then I just took off from where I left off and finished it in this month. Um, yeah, but I did kind of enjoyed it. It was a little bit slow, but again, not really my cup of tea, but not the worst book to read. Then the next one we have is The Pageant by Leah Walker. This is the Vampire Royals book 1. There is a review on this book on my channel, and the second review is going to be coming soon. That's what I'm going to be filming after this. So this is The Pageant. I can't remember if I've mentioned it, but yeah, I read this. I really enjoyed it. For something with fancy dresses and kind of featuring old stuff, I didn't think it was going to be my cup of tea, but it was, and I enjoyed it. And as I say, the review is up there. So the summary of the story is where there are 20 contestants in total, and the main character, Gwyneth, I think if I'm pronouncing that right, or something like that. She catches the prince's eye, but obviously they're all vampires. Her friend, who she met on the journey to the palace, is very outspoken, and she spoke rudely to Dallas's mother and was turned into a vampire. So that was kind of a lot. And then we have the rebels who are against the government and the princes being vampires, but with Gwyneth, I think, on side, kind of things have slightly changed a bit. So that was a really interesting read. I really enjoyed it. So I think I'll keep this one just because obviously I've reviewed it on my channel. I've written the review and everything up for it. So I think that'll just go in my review kind of collection that I'm slowly building. And then the last book for January 2022 is The Gala, Book 2 of The Vampire Roars by Leah Walker. And again, I've written a review, so there will be a video dedicated to this review. But this time there are 20 contestants and there is 4 weeks left. But same again, the prince and her are specifically in love. She gets very jealous of the other girls who takes up Dallas's time and one thing and another, but I'll go into more detail on that. So, just to keep it short and sweet for this month, as it's kind of my first wrap up, and I've never really done kind of like a wrap up before, I'm sure I'll get better at detailing books as time go on. So, this is the little pile, and I'm kind of pleased with the fact that I read 5 this month, and look out for the February to be read pile.